Hi there, this is Art and Such, and today I have for you a requested Rainbow Loom tutorial for Grimm from Billy and Mandy. We're going to make one small change, which is to shorten the length of the lower jaw here. Otherwise we'll be making what you see in this picture. I'm going to make half of the bottom piece with you and have you pause for the other, and I'll be making one arm with you and getting you to pause to do the other arm. Now this is an advanced level project, and you'll be needing a hook and a holding hook, your Rainbow Loom in the offset configuration, middle row just above the other two. For colors, we are going to be using white, black, and red, and I have round beads that I'll be putting for my eyes, but you can use a black band by wrapping it 3 times in place of each bead. So let's begin by making our bottom pieces. And we're going to do 3 sets for each of the little tentacle pieces. So you'll take your hook and a single black, wrap it 1, 2, 3 times, and you're going to have 4 bands showing, or 4 loops showing. Take a single, double it over onto itself, put a little tension on the end, press your first one over, and replace. We do this again 3 more times. So here's a single doubled over, put it on the end, press the first 2 over, and replace. Again, double it over, bring this over the top, put your other end back. So there is one of our 3 bottom pieces for one side. Let's make the next 2. We'll go a little faster now. A single wrapped 3 times, hold on to 3 doubled over singles. Two, 3, oh, that should be 4. My fingers are going to have 3, but our little feet pieces can have 4. Going to add one to this piece, slide it off the back, put it on again on the front, and let's do one more. Single wrapped 3 times, hold on to, my apologies, it is 4 doubled over bands. It's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we take all of these and we are going to pull them all onto a doubled over single, and this will complete 1/2 of the bottom. You can see I'm keeping this tight and I'm keeping it near the top of the hook with the open part facing towards me so it doesn't slip over. Place the other end back onto your hook, and you can pause your video please and make your second bottom section. We're going to connect these before we start on the arms now. So arrange your pieces such that they are facing, all facing outwards. You can see these ones are curving to the left and these ones are curving out to the right. This is the ideal at any rate. If you can't get them that way, then you can try and arrange it after, but this is what we are hoping for. And we're going to take these all and put them onto 2 black bands. And we keep them in that order. And we put this onto a holding hook. Now for our arm, I'm going to give you a cheat shortcut first. If you don't want to do all of these fingers, there are some times when Grimm just has his fist balled up, and you can take 3 bands, wrap them twice, and pull them onto 2 bands. So this can be your hand if you'd like. I think the fingers look a little bit classier, so I'm going to show you how to make these. I'm making 4, and if you want, you can make one of these a little smaller than the others, but the way I have it here and the way I'm going to show you today is having 3 doubled over bands on top of each for 4. So just like with our toes, we start with a single white, wrap it 3 times, and we're going to pull it onto 3 doubled over white bands. Now, as I say, if you want one of the fingers like to be the thumb and to be a little shorter, you can just leave one of these at 2 instead of 3. At any rate, this is what I'm doing, so we'll keep going. 2, 3. We need a total of 4. This is the 3rd one. And the last one. And then we take a single white, you're going to double it over, hold it at the end of your hook and bring your fingers on top, but don't put the other end back just yet. Slide these on, it's going to be a little tight here. Now we bring, see here are the fingers on top, we bring this down a little bit. I'm going to hold this with my left hand. And I'm taking a single, I'm going to wrap it 3 times over the top of the hook. And push that down. Put your other white end on. We're going to take a single black, double it over, pull it through everything that is now on your hook, all of those whites. Try and keep them in order. Put the other end back. Take a doubled over single black, pull it through again, and this can sit on your hook for the moment. Make your other hand and come back, and we're going to start working on the body. For our body, we will go to the top of the loom. You're going to take a single black, double it over, and come down once. From the top center peg to the second peg in the center, and repeat 2 more times just below. Now take double bands, so 2 bands, double, not doubled, and come down 3 times. This will bring you to your 8th peg in the center, 7th peg. We are going to come down to the side now, but you're going to skip a peg. So instead of going to your 7th peg on the left, you go to the 8th. We put it on that middle one where we just ended. Don't go down to the next one, skip to your 6th peg, counting up from the bottom. And repeat that on the other side. And now we fill in the rest of the loom to the bottom using double bands on each of the rows. Oh, this is our body. We should have done our arm first. That's okay, we'll loop some of this up and then we'll go back and add the hands to the arms after. That's what I like about this. You can usually change the order of operations around a little bit. This isn't a rigid discipline. Okay, keep going down the middle. We will take our leg piece. They aren't really legs, but the bottom of the skirt there. And you're going to take each end, so the two here and the two here, and you'll place them across the bottom two pegs on your loom. Like so. And reach in between the two sides. You'll separate the band that these are sitting on and bring it up over the middle. You can actually put the whole piece over, it doesn't matter. Just as long as that middle section is sitting above. Okay, separate and above that peg. For our triangle bands, we're going to take two bands and come from that second peg from the bottom across, up and over in a triangle formation. And then we're going to have doubled over singles forming triangles once above that, twice, 3 times, and 4 times one more triangle. And we're going to loop up most of the way, but we'll stop just before where we need our arms, and we'll add those then. Let's start on the side. You're going to look for your 2 bottommost pegs. Take your hook, the open part is pointing up. You're going to catch those bottom 2, lift them up and over, and fit those onto your next peg. Go for the next bottom 2. Bring them through all of the others, up and over. Push back your triangle band, find your bottom 2, and we're gonna go up 2 more times, same way. Now from here we can find this really long diagonal band and bring that to the center at the top of this section and stop there. We'll continue at the bottom right. We're doing everything we just did, but now on the right side. Find your bottom 2 and bring it up, 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 straight forward, and come up diagonally again. And let's loop up the middle, come under the feet here, loop those bottom 2 up, next 2, and we'll keep going. Find your next 2, bring them up, and we're going to stop when we get to the 3rd peg from the top, so right here. And you can carefully ease the rest of this off of your loom. Just hold on to the top section. Okay, so it's going to just sit here for the moment, and we're going to finish with our arms. For our arms, we are taking 2 bands, coming down once, 2 bands a second time, 2 bands a third time. Now take a single and double it over, and you'll come down diagonally to the peg below and to the side, and down once on the side. Take 2 bands and come down once in the middle. And we're going to do our other side. Oops, doubled over band, down diagonally, and a single doubled over coming down. You're going to take your hand piece, and we're going to do something similar to what we did with the feet, or the bottom piece. You're going to put 2 of these on this bottom peg, and the other 2 across. Now find the space between the 2 black sides on your hand and lift those, lift one piece of that up and over. Let's loop up on the side, come up once and to the middle. On the other side, get underneath, get your doubled over band, bring it up, and then to the middle. And we come inside under the hand, loop up once, and we'll loop up the rest of the way here. 1, 2, 3. Put this end on your hook, and you're going to take the rest off of your loom. And then I need you to pause your video again and make another arm. Okay, so now you have 2 arms ready, and you're going to put each one onto the second peg down from the top of your loom on top of your body pieces. Let's loop up the last 2 sets of bands here. Oh, it is 2 bands, they're doubled over, that's right. This one's going to be difficult. Let's move the hand out of the way. You're going for these bands. You might find that it helps to pull them to the side, or turn your loom a different direction to see better. We can ease the rest off, and these top bands are going to come onto your hook. I'm just going to slip it onto a separate holding hook here, actually. Just get it out of the way. Now for our head, we have a couple of parts to do, and the red and the black are going to be added after, but we will start with, as well as some of the facial features, but we can start now with the top of our head. We have double white bands coming from the top center to the top right, and double white top center to the top left. Come down 2 times on each of the rows. And 1 extra time in the middle. Okay. Just gonna double check something here for you really quickly. Yes, we're actually gonna have bands meeting up from the 3rd peg in the center to the 3rd on the right, and from the 3rd center to the 3rd left. And then we're going to make a couple of little extensions for the side here. Originally I put 2 doubled over bands, but I think this time we're going to use just 1. If you want it long like this, you can still pull it onto 2. And I'll show you what I mean here. We're going to do as we do with our fingers, take a single wrap at 3 times. This is white. Put it onto a doubled over white. Now if you're okay with this length, you can keep this. And if you want it to be a little longer, then you'll add 1 more doubled over band. and this is going to sit on the third peg down on the side, and we'll make one for the other side in 1 second. Okay, same thing, just on the other side now. Okay, let's take our body and put it onto the fourth peg down. And loop up one time in the middle, just one time. Those bottom two whites, bring them up. We'll finish getting the face ready, and that means we need a doubled over single white holding band. So triangle band going over the second pegs. And we're going to prepare our eyes. If you're using bands, just wrap each 3 times and pull them both onto a white band. If you're using beads, you can thread them from your hook or take a piece of thin wire or dental floss, run them both on top. Grab a white band, slide your wire or floss through, return it to, and just return it to the same route over and back through the eyes. And this is one of Kate Schultz's tricks I like to use in my designs. Doesn't want to go here. There. Slide it on, the little pinch. This goes from your second peg to your second peg. And you can bring the centerpiece up over the second peg in the middle. Okay, we will add the rest of our facial features after. Now we need to make this bottom part to add on after. So for this, we take 4 white bands, and we come down once on our loom. I'm just going to start a little bit below here. So this is starting from the 6th peg down, should be fine, 5th or 6th peg. We come down with double bands to either side. And we're going to come down twice on either side using double bands again. Let's put some bands in the middle, come down twice with double whites. And we are going to take double bands and come up from that 4th peg that we've used in the center to the 3rd peg that we've used on the side. So it's coming down diagonally again. And once more for the other side. We take a single white band and we double it over and put it across the middle side pegs and up over the 3rd peg that we've used in the center. Let's take a capping band or a single band, and we're going to cap off that bottom center one. It's the 4th peg that we've used. Wrap it 3 to 4 times. Now I'm actually wondering, I'm thinking, you don't have to do this, I'm just going to try and experiment here and you'll see in the thumbnail if this works. I'm thinking we can double these side bands over and get a tighter fit. Just occurred to me we could try that, and I think it'll be good. But it is completely fine if you wanna have it as double bands instead of doubled over. Either should be just fine. Now take your hook, get inside, and we're trying to find these 2 bands. They should be the top bands underneath of your cap band. I'm gonna do something bad. I'm gonna stretch them out all the way here so that I can see them. That did not work to my advantage. Try that one more time. It's really frustrating when all of your bands are the same color in a particular peg. Feel free to jump ahead if you've got this part already. We're just gonna keep looping things up from where they came, from whence they came. All right, got it. Go back in for your next two and bring those over and down, and you can loop up twice. And we'll loop up on either side twice. And to the middle. On the right. Once, twice. To the middle. And find your bottom four. You need all four. Lift them up and over. Take off some tension and remove from your loom. And adjust it all, and then we're going to place it onto the the third peg down from the top of the loom where your face is here. Press it down really, really firmly. You don't want that to slip off. Now let's loop up the rest of our face. We have to come underneath the piece we just attached, and we're going to try and find the top two bands from underneath. I'm going to put my finger on top, pull it back so that I can see a little better. And we're going to dig around a little bit until we find the bands that we are looking for. They should be the ones going to the left side. Hang on. We carefully bring those up and over and around. I'm afraid this is going to be another of the hard parts. Press it down. I'm actually going to loop the side up once just to secure this in place a little bit better. This is the bottom two on this side we're trying to get. And we go back in the middle and find our next two top bands from underneath the mouthpiece and loop those over, and we're going to loop up the right side to get this held more firmly in place as well. Now we can loop up the bottom two in the middle and loop up once more on either side, but push back your triangle bands and your eye bands. Loop up diagonally from either side at the top, and once more in the middle we're going to come up. Take a single white band or two if you want to be extra secure, and we're going to take the open part of the hook, point it away, slide this through the bands on the top peg, catch our white band, bring it up through, replace the other side, pull one piece over the other, and we can take this off the loom and we'll start on the other aspects of our head. Okay, I'm just gonna tighten a piece here. Something seems to have come loose, so we'll fix that. You can push your eyes so that they're at the right side and hide your securing band at the back. I'm gonna slide it under some of my other bands here. And put that on a C-clip. Oh, there we go. Okay, for our nose, we're gonna take a black band. Have it at the ready. Take your hook. We're coming through from the back and we're gonna try and come up right around here. And this might take a couple of tries. You are gonna have to take your time probably. Put your band on and slide it carefully back to the back of your grim. Now I'm holding on to this side. I have the other piece on my hook. It stays on my hook, and we come through again. We want to come just a little bit to the side, just on top of maybe the next band or one over, because otherwise this is, if we go anywhere else, it's going to come off. I'm going to try and get into this space just below the eyes. You can see my hook is poking out there. And you're going to catch that black band again. I'm still holding it so there's some tension. And we pull this to the back once more. Make it as loose or as tight as you'd like. You can leave it a little bulging if you aren't happy with where it sits. Feel free to pull it out and try it again. Pull one piece over the other, and this will go onto the same C-clip, but I'm actually just going to leave it where it is for now because we can keep going and finish tidying things off after. Okay, so I'm holding this here. If you're more comfortable, put it on a C-clip. It's fine either way. You're going to come through from the back so that you reach here just above the eye. Take another black. This is for the eyebrow. Put it on the end. Slide it through until it's at the back of your grim. Again, I'm holding it, and I'm going to go through from the back and try and get somewhere in the middle here. Like so. Bring your eyebrow back to the back of his body. If you want it longer, you can come in a little bit closer on the inside. I'm going to pull one in through the other on the back, and I'll weave right back in for my other eyebrow. So I'm doing the same thing. I'm starting on the inside now. You want to get it as symmetrical as you can. Take our black, pull it to the back, and once more we go through. I'm going through the four on the side here, you can see, and that brings me in just above the eye and to the left. We get our black band and we hook it to the back, and you can secure this now. Now the nice thing about this pattern is if your eyes or your eyebrows don't come out completely symmetrically, it's okay, because Grimm's features are a little bit asymmetrical in some of the scenes where you see him. I'm just adjusting this and making sure everything is secure on the C-clip. Now our last part is the red and the black. And so you're going to take your hook, and we're looking under the extension. We're coming in from the back, just under that piece. You're going to take your hook and put it through the 4 bands that you see on the side there. Okay, it should be just under. We take 2 red bands, put them on the hook, and pull them through. Now move up just a little bit, and we're going to slide under a couple of bands here. Put your red on the hook so it's sitting there on both sides. We take a white and we bring it through. We bring it through the first two red, we bring it through the loops on the face that we used, and we bring it through the last red. And you're going to take your white that you're holding and slide it back behind the ear and grab it with your hook. Now we go through the next two above the extension piece. And you're going to take two reds and we're going to start weaving our way around using the reds. We're going to have to do 2 layers because the next one's going to be black. Take your reds, carefully slide it back through all of these bands. Now hold on here. This is the side of the face. You're going to go through the next 2, catch the other end of your red, take another 2 red and pull through. I'll do this a couple more times. Okay, so hold it here. You're going to turn it sideways again, go through the top, find 2 on the outside, 2 on the inside, place your red, grab 2 more reds, slide them back through. Find your next set here, catch it, and don't worry if it seems loose or it's falling into the face, don't worry because our black row is gonna stretch that out a little bit too. Our next two reds, slides through all of those. We're going to do this 2 more times and then we'll have to catch it under the extension again because we want that part to be sticking out in front. Okay, I can fit it one more time. Now we're kind of upside down from where we started. This is on this side. I'm going to turn it around again and bring my 2 reds through. And now we get a white band, and we will slide a white band through all of those. We bring it to the back, under the extension piece. Oops, it slipped out there. Okay, so trying to do this way. You're going to go around behind the extension piece and slip through 2 bands from the back and 2 from the front. Get 2 more reds. This will be the end of our red row. Cool. Bring those through. Put the other end on, and now we're going to switch to some black. So take 2 black, bring it through the reds, right the ones that you have on your hook, just slide it through, catch it. We're gonna, let's see, doing this from a funny angle here. Okay, you're gonna take your hook, let's take one side of the black off and hold it. Take your hook and bring it through the next reds above and put it back through the black. Take 2 blacks, slide them through, and we're weaving our way back, so now you get the next 2 reds, and through the black. Turn it around this way again. So we come through the block that was on the hook, through 2 reds, the next 2 reds, and the black. And we're going to keep doing this all of the way around. Slide 2 more black bands through all of those. go through the next set of reds. Two more black. I'm going to move a little bit faster now, but we're just repeating this the rest of the way around the top. And you're always grabbing sort of the outer back too, because we don't want to completely eclipse the reds that we have. So if you have 4 reds showing here, you're going to take these, from the back and then 2 from the front. If you take all of the reds from the front, then they aren't going to show up like they used to. Couple more. Go through a couple of reds at the front. Tell you there are certain things I like to do on my hook and other things I like to do on the loom, and this is one of the parts that I find the most challenging on certain projects. Okay, let's go through one more time here. And then we'll need to, you can see I'm getting close to my extension. We'll have to catch this under the extension one more time too. So the bottom reds, get the black, take 2 blacks, pull them through all. I'm doing a couple of pieces at a time here because this is getting to be a really weird angle to work at. Now you can put the other end of the blacks on your hook, and there are 2 ways you can finish it. One, very basic, you do a slip knot, take 2, pull them over the other 2, pull. And you can secure one of these on your C-clip, or you can leave them both like so. That's completely fine. I did one extra step here, and I took a single, wrapped it 3 times. This is black. Put it onto doubled over single, and then I took my 2 bands from the slip knot here, put them on the hook. I slid this new piece over, and I hid these bands in the back, so it's a bit of a firmer piece to stand out there. So I will slip this under a couple of other bands. Take my hook, put it under, bring those back. I'm gonna use a separate C-clip, I think. The other one here is a little busy. And there is your Grim. Let me lay him down for you to see. And I thank you very much for watching.